Sabre Suit close up and then Snap. Just in behind those was Kingston Bay, Our Marquise, Danarani, Avdon, Auntie Mary, State Taj, Mr. Marconi, Allegro, and Final Tempo at the rear.
Yeah, beautiful ride, Dan. He waited and waited on Seascape, threaded his way through the field, and he got home very well. I thought Talanda was a very good run by Gee, fought back well. But here they go here. That's Talanda on the fence leading in the purple, and David Taggart on number 3, Seascape, driving through the middle of them there.
They were stretched right across the track there, Gary. There was no problem about Seascape getting a run.
No, and I remarked to you before the race, as a jockey, I wouldn't mind coming up the fence because I thought some of them had just been going a little bit too wide.
Number 3 is the winner. 1:36 was the time. Now, for the minor placings, you've got Talanda, who will get second, and Juggler third. 3, 17 and 2. In the last bound, Juggler just getting up to run third.
And here you can see here, 3 from the inside is Seascape, just going to get his run through here. The one leading is Talanda. He just drifts across to the fence, snaps the one in the striped purple and white and black cap, and that's Seascape and the cerise colours. He's just going to poke through between the pair of them. Yeah, good ride.
Juggler, the widest runner on the home turn, was flashing home late, but just not to be.
Yep.
John Letts is on banjo to catch up with David Taggart 2 years in a row. Deja vu, Lettsy, for David Taggart.
Yes, and David, last year you won it on Seascape 50-1. Not so bigger odds this year, but a great win and a great ride, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Well said. Yeah, he's been a great horse. He runs for me, Johnny. Great training effort to bring him back from the Cox Plate mile and a quarter distance back to a mile, and we done it again, mate.
David, he ran very well in the Toorak handicap and the Cox Plate. He wasn't disgraced behind Octagonal, was he?
He was only beaten 3 1/4 lengths behind Octagonal.
Was there any excuses in that?
No excuses. He had every chance. He's just not probably mile and a quarter weight for age horse.
And he's pulled up pretty well, this horse. Do you think that the mile's his pet distance? The mile and a quarter might be, or the 2,000 might be just a little bit far?
Just a little bit far. The miles he's go just with the jar out of the track, which was starring. We just got the money again for the second time in a row.
And you're feeling confident all of that way, were you?
All the way, travelled a treat. Couldn't have asked for anything better, John.
Yeah, congratulations, Dave.
Thanks, mate, thanks.
John Letts, David Taggart. They won this race last year at about 50-1, and this time around the $9 chance. Well, since losing that race on Protus, it's really stirred up the stable, Pete. They've got the last 2 on the trot.
They have, and Peter Hayes is with me now. They might have to rename this race the Hayes Stakes.
Well, it's been a very lucky race for us. You know, Dad's won it and David's won it 3 times, I think, and now, yeah, myself. So great.
Yeah, David actually winning the last 3, and then you winning this one. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, wonderful.
I remember standing out here with you a couple of weeks ago when David was riding work, and it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, very early. It was dark, and David said to me, "This horse will win the Nissan Stakes."
Yeah. Well, he's been in superb form all year. He's been wonderfully consistent, and just been going beautifully. So he deserved to win this race. I mean, I just had a kilo more than I would have liked to have seen him had, but David rode him. He just goes so well for David too.
He's not a glamour horse. He's just all workmanlike, isn't he?
He's just a very good horse. Yeah.
Congratulations, Pete.
Thank you.
Peter Hayes, the winning trainer, and quite amazing that David Hayes has won the race 3 years in a row before this, and now Peter Hayes takes over Lindsay Park and he wins it as well. And of course their father Colin has won it. He won it in 1989 with Better Loosen Up. It is quite a remarkable effort from the Hayes stable. Seascape returning now, second placing. Talanda ran a bold race, and Juggler got a long way back and flew home. Officially 4th in the race was 13, and that was Sober Suit, and officially 5th was number 11, and that was Snap, and the time for the journey was 1 minute and 36 seconds. So David Taggart returning now, very happy David Taggart. He's always got a smile on his face. Today, for very good reason. He's just won the feature race on the final day of the carnival, the Nissan Stakes. We'll be back with the correct weight signal at Flemington in just a moment.
Races to get out. The Queen Elizabeth is the next, and he's a bit lonely up there, that fella. Studying the paper? Yeah. It's like my mates over meeting in my fan club in a phone booth. Welcome back to Nissan Stakes Day for 1995, and we are able to confirm with you that Greg Hall has in fact fractured his wrist. Goodness me, what a carnival. Darren Gauci, Damien Oliver, Greg Hall, all injuring themselves. Three of the biggest names in the business. And all we can wish Greg is all the best on his way to hospital, get that set. And I know Greggy probably come back for the last couple of races to have a look. Then again, that's sore, having done that in the past, fracturing a wrist. And it is amazing, isn't it? And it just emphasises again what a tough business this is. And as we showed you, tennis sprinting around the racetrack, knowing horses a little bit as I do, that, as Peter said to you, it can be an extremely dangerous situation when they're that fired up. They're liable to do anything. So we had a dangerous situation on our hands. Those ladies don't appear to be in any danger whatsoever, except maybe of getting bubbles up their nose, drinking too much champagne. PD?
Yes, I hope they're enjoying the champagne. We're not enjoying the fact that another jockey's bitten the dust, Jen. It really is bad luck.
It is very bad luck for Greg. As Tim said, three of the biggest names in racing all injured this week, so not good.
They might have to rename it the Hayes Stakes, you know. It is quite amazing that Collins won it, David's won it, and now Peter's won it.
It's, yeah, they've got a great record in the race, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, just going back, Better Loosen Up won in 89, and then the last three, of course, were Planet Ruler in 92, Primacy won it in 93, and then Seascape, of course, won it last year and comes out and wins it again. And there is the winning trainer, Peter Hayes, and the winning horse, Seascape. As I said, David Taggart, he really likes this horse, and he did tell me one morning out here, bright and early. Normally the Hayes horses work long before the others, and they'll quite possibly be finished at 5 o'clock in the morning. And David just stood there, spoke to me for 5 minutes one morning, and he said, I reckon he'll win the Nissan Stakes, this horse. He's not a bad judge. Jockeys aren't always bad judges, Jed.
Most of the time they are.
All right, the presentation is just about ready for us now after the running of race 5. The next event is race 6, and that is 25 minutes after 3. Correct weight has been declared. Weight is right. The numbers 3, 17 and 2, a long head by a long head. The time 1:36. Dan, take us through the dividends.
Okay, Pete, Seascape $9.50 and $3.30. Talander $8.20. Juggler $1.90. Quinella $194. Exacta $356.40. The trifecta $1,814.30. And the race-to-race double paying $46.20. So it is correct weight, all clear to play on 3, 17 and 2.
Right for the presentation now, just a couple of riding changes. Replacing Greg Hall on the next are Griffiths on number 3, Quick Ransom, and then ahead to race 7, number 11, Pete Door is B. Preble. We'll confirm those for you shortly. Time now for the presentation. Here's the chairman of the Victoria Racing Club, Mr. David Burke.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Victoria Racing Club, I'd like to thank the Nissan Company for its sponsorship of this event. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Leon Daphne, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Nissan, who will present the trophies to the winning owner, trainer and jockey. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Daphne.
Well, thank you very much, David, and Nissan Australia is delighted with its association with racing, and especially this Nissan Stakes. I'd like to congratulate this time their VRC on their organisation of a wonderful carnival, and they've overcome the difficulties of inclement weather, which has just been fantastic. We obviously also would like to thank you, the racing public, for your patronage of the carnival, and especially today, Nissan Stakes Day. Wonderful race, Nissan Stakes, and there's no truth in the rumour that we're going to change the name to the Nissan Hayes Stakes, but it is true that the Hayes family have won it 4 years in a row now, and I think back in 1989 they also won this race with Better Loosen Up. To receive the trophy on behalf of the owner, Dr. Sawyers, Mr. Colin Hayes. Mr. Colin Hayes. Can you say a couple of words, Colin?
Sure, thank you. Mr. Daphne, members of the committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, on behalf of Dr. Choi and Dr. Choi's manager, I would like to say thank you very much, and particularly thank Nissan for this wonderful trophy. And we do appreciate it, and I know Dr. Choi will. I think that Rob McAnulty selected the horse and sent it to us after it finished racing in New Zealand. We're very fortunate to get him. He's won back-to-back Nissans, which is a very prestigious race, and I must say once again that Nissen we're very grateful to. And to sum it all up, I'd like to thank David Taggart for his superb ride. It was a waiting, very patient ride, and I thought that he rode it well. My son Peter, I've been lucky enough to win it with Better Loosen Up, and then David won 3 in a row, and now Peter's won it. So as a family affair, it's great. Thank you very much, and thank you for the way you received the horse.
Thanks very much, Colin, and a trophy for the winning trainer, Peter Hayes.
Congratulations, Peter. Mr. Daphne, members of the committee, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I'd like to thank Nissen for their sponsorship, or their continued sponsorship of racing in Australia. It certainly helps. I'd also like to thank Dr. Choi and Rob McAnulty for entrusting this horse in my care. He's been a great horse for a couple of seasons now. I'd also like to thank David for his perfect ride. He's got a great affinity with this horse. I think he just seems to run very well for him. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Hayes family. Colin Hayes representing the owners, and the trainer David Hayes after Seascape wins his second consecutive Nissan Stakes here at Flemington, the final big race of the carnival. But we've still got 3 to go, and the Queen Elizabeth is coming up too, Jen. Just confirming that number 3, Quick Ransom, will be ridden by Rodney Griffiths, replacing Greg Hall, who has a fractured wrist.
Well, Peter, in this race, I like number 11, El Kahira's Son. I thought he was a little bit unlucky in the straight in the Derby. He had a bit of a checkered run, and he comes in here with 49 kilos. He's really been racing quite well. I gave him a good each-way chance in this from number 5, Pindi. She likewise had a checkered run at Moonee Valley. And for third, I put in the top weight, number 1, Dark Czar. This horse is probably the best stayer in the race, and if he's right, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, he's the one I went for, probably for that reason, Jen, but I'm like you. I thought El Kahira's Son's run in the Derby the other day was very good. Incidentally, I'd just like to pay a little bit of a tribute to a couple of people who've been working very hard with all our preparation stuff, all the stories and everything that's going to air, and that's Lisa Taylor and Marcus Maguire have done a fantastic job with their editing of the stories. Well done, guys. I think it's been worth the effort. There have been some great stories amongst them.
They have, especially the Jim Houlihan one. I like that.
Yes, yes, that comment about the horse holding its breath. I don't think we can really repeat that, but I don't think he quite believed the jockey that day.
No.
So, Seascape, the winner after race 5. We're coming up to the 6th, 25 past 3 the starting time. Here's a tote call now with Dan Malicki on race 6.
Thank you, Pete. Group 2, $150,000 Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Dark Czar, $11.50. Our Pompey, $14.40. Quick Ransom, $3.20, $1.30 the favourite. Hear That Bell, $17.70. Won this race 2 years ago, Hear That Bell. Pindi at $5.20. Scalero, $21.10. Section at $18.90. Toll Bell, $29. Belloco at $8.60. Cessna, $9.40. $10.80 for El Kahira's Son. And Our King's Ransom is the rank outsider, $124. That's the tote scene. Now the betting ring, bookmaker's ring, with Tim Gossage.
Thanks very much, Dan. Well, after that last race, Seascape was a bit of a drifter in most boards, but I looked at one bookmaker's sheet and it was a horrific result. He has lost a lot of money and he looked very dark a couple of minutes ago. Having a look at race 6, and Quick Ransom has opened up very short on the tote, but I can tell you can get much better down here in the bookmaker's ring, almost double the tote figures as you've just mentioned. Pindi's well thought of in the ring. Also Scalero, it's about half its each way odds in the ring here at the moment. Belloco, Gay Waterhouse has spooked that one. She thinks it's going to run a forward race. And Jenny Chapman's selection, El Kahira's Son, 10.80 on the tote. Forget about that in the ring, about half that. And that's actually my tip in the race. Although 3-year-olds, I don't think have ever won it, and not too many have raced in it.
Not too many have, Tim, but El Kahira's Son has a great chance here at good each way odds. It's race 6, the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, the next event at 3:25. But as we go to the break, let's look back on some of the emotions of the big race on the 4th day of the carnival, the Nissan Stakes.
Searching until your secrets come out. a girl's pinafore with matching hat, and for the boys, a denim striped suit. From Mother Nature, fashionable eco-friendly racewear in 100% Australian organic cotton. And summer colours feature for Snuggles with reversible garments for boys and girls. To vote for any of these 3 great designers, call 0055 60521. Vote for the winning designer and you can win a night of your life package for 2 at Melbourne's Crown Casino, including accommodation, dinner, airfares and a limousine. For the winning designer, a trip for 2 flying Qantas and staying at the fabulous Marriott Surfers Paradise Resort, the ultimate place for a romantic weekend. To enter, call 0055 60521 up until 4 o'clock Eastern Summer Time.
Indeed, we're out here for a very exciting competition. If we're echoing around a bit, we've got a PA going, a little crowd. Hello, everyone. Oh, you can make more noise than that. Go on, make them there. Yeah, you're here. Thank you. Good. This is the Pin and Win competition, a great competition and sponsored by Nissan. The prize, of course, this magnificent little Pulsar Q. What's been happening is for $5, people have bought a little pin and all the proceeds have gone to the Australian Red Cross. And now for the pin, they each go into the running for a chance to get the key. And if the key opens the door to the Pulsar Q, well, then it's theirs. So it is pretty exciting, isn't it? Now, we've got 4 of the people who have a key, and we've got 2 stand-ins for people who aren't here. So let's, Bob Patterson's here too, the Marketing Director of Nissan Australia. Bob, welcome.
Thanks, Tim. It's great to be here, and it's a fantastic charity to be involved in. So we're looking forward to who's going to be the lucky winner.
All right, let's not keep everybody in suspenders. Let's do it. Now, our key holders are, the first one is Reg Vesio, but Reg is not here. So this is the lovely Laura trying the key. Nah. Oh, what a shame. Laura, thanks very much. Mr. and Mrs. Dunstan, this is obviously Mrs. Dunstan, first name. Hadrina. Lovely name. Try your key, Mrs. Dunstan. Hadrina. No. Oh. The odds are getting better. It is a race day. Julie Butler. Mrs. Butler. Julie's mum. All right. Oh, no. Odds are getting better all the time. Now, Cecile Story. Cecile, come on up. Try the key. Did it open the door? It certainly did. Good on you, Cecile. Come over here. How about that?
Thank you very much.
What sort of wheels do you drive now? Before, I mean.
They're not as good as those.
There you go, Bob. Why don't you congratulate this charming young lady?
Cecile? Well, Cecily.
Oh, Cecily. Cecily, good on you.
Cecily, a job well done. The new Pulsar's only been launched worldwide in the last 2 months. So I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic time and really enjoy your driving. So congratulations and well done. Thank you.
Good on you. Thanks, Bob. Thanks to Nissan. A great and good. Well, yes, happy driving, Cecily, and thanks to Nissan. A great cause. The Australian. I don't suppose you know how much money eventually went into the Red Cross team?
I'm told there was just thousands and thousands of entries. Yeah. So the Red Cross and is going to be a big winner. So we look forward to maybe repeating it again. All
right. Thanks to Nissan and all the best to the Red Cross, and happy driving to Cecily from down here away in a new Nissan Pulsar Q. Good on you. Okay.
Thanks, Tim. Well, joining me now from the North Melbourne Giants are Daryl and John. Now, guys, no basketball today, but a slightly different role. I believe you've been judging fashions on the field. How did that go?
Well, it's very difficult. There was a lot of kids we had to choose from. The actual winner got a trip for the family to Singapore, both female and male. So, no, there was a few irate parents after we made the decision. It was very difficult.
It was fairly competitive?
It certainly was. No, the kids looked absolutely fantastic, and you know, it's sort of like it's a credit to the parents, and the kids look absolutely great.
Neither of you have children, do you?
I've got one in Adelaide, yeah.
I got 2 stepsons. Oh. If they'd have been in it, they would have won.
Did he with my son, I think.
Daryl, did you actually make it to the judging?
No, I was a little bit late. I'm busy having a bet, actually, which collected, so that was very good.
Well, I guess that's what the day's all about, isn't it?
It is.
Now, John, you've got an injury at the moment. Would you like to show us your injury?
Broken thumb. Yeah, no, it's a late injury. It happened in the late part of the season, but no, out here to have a good day, and hopefully I can bet with this hand, so yeah, I'll hopefully win a bit of money by the end of the day.
And Daryl, I believe you're going into hospital next week, is that right?
Yes, I'm getting my Achilles tendons done. I've just retired from basketball, and the surface we play on is fairly unforgiving, and I've had a fairly long career, so wear and tear on my ankles and Achilles tendon surgery, so that should be fun.
I think it's time to kick up your heels.
Yeah, I'll do it now while I can.
Sounds good. Back to you, Tim.
ML, thanks a lot. Well, race day, what a race week it's been with Darren Gauci, Damien Oliver, and now Greg Hall injuring themselves. And speaking of young Gauci, through the flash of silks, some jockeys emerged superstars. While still in his teens, Darren Gauci drove a Mercedes-Benz. He went steady with a young talent timer and booted home more winners more flamboyantly than any other apprentice. And nothing much has changed.
The jockey's jockey. Every era has one. The rider for which it all seems to come so easily. The natural talents of Darren Gauci have been the envy of other jockeys ever since he burst onto the scene as an incredibly successful apprentice almost 15 years ago.
Gauch, well, I believe he's a master, just his seat, his style, everything about him. He's just a perfectionist, more or less.
I think he's sort of a natural, Darren, and he just naturally fits into a horse, you know, and he's got lovely hands, you know.
After winning 3 Melbourne riding premierships in the 80s, Darren Gauci has spent the last 3 years riding in Hong Kong and has returned an even more complete rider.
Well, in Hong Kong was a good experience for me. I wanted to go over just to see and ride against different jockeys all over the world. It's very competitive over there, which is very competitive here as well. Racing over there is a little bit more exciting all year round. It's similar to like the Spring Carnival all year round here in Melbourne.
The belief is strong that Gauci has now learned to get the most out of his natural gift and is ready to fulfil the potential he showed as a young rider.
Darren Gauci, beautifully balanced, rides the race very well, had international experience now, and will be a top jockey for a long time.
He certainly will be, and made a recovery and came back to racing today after being stitched up. I mean, that's how tough it is. When they say how competitive it is, next time we show you one of our slow motion shots from the head-on camera as they're heading down towards the winning post, and there's a close go for first and second. You just watch how competitive these blokes get, and they send those horses down, and it's must be a very exhilarating experience, exhilarating job. Yeah, and I guess a flamboyant job it certainly is too, but boy, is it a dangerous one. And the evidence of that is in this week, that is for sure. Let's go racing. Here's Peter and Jenny.
And we just saw a shot of the farrier at work there, Tim, with our Pompeii just replating his off hind leg prior to the running of the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. And time now to have a look at the runners, Jen. And Dark Zara's an interesting horse in appearance.
Is he ever, with that strange looking back that he's got? Must be a very uncomfortable ride. I wouldn't like to ride him bareback, that's for sure. Yeah, he's
actually a bit of a swayback, Dark Zara, but it hasn't stopped him because he's a horse that has won plenty of prize money, in fact more than $900,000.
Oh, absolutely. He's a terrific stay, this horse. So I think he's going to go very well here. He's a horse that has won at weight for age before. He's got 56 kilos here. Really, that shouldn't worry him. Once he's 100% right, he's very, very good.
Our Pompeii number 2 showed something like his best form when third in the Werribee Cup behind Double Take at its last start. And our Pompeii, well, he won the Sandown Cup last year, and he's only 6 years of age, but it seems as though he's been going around forever, Jen.
It does too. I thought it was probably a better effort at Werribee there, but by the same token, he probably had every chance to win the Werribee Cup. Double Take was just too good for them on the day. He's probably left there with a place chance.
Quick Ransom number 3, Rod Griffiths replaces the injured Greg Hall. Terrific run in the Melbourne Cup when he finished 4th behind DeRemus, and prior to that, 3rd in the Moonee Valley Cup to Storm. Jen, is there any concern about the fact that he is an imported galloper, and normally these horses don't back up very quickly?
Well, quite possibly, and of course a hard run in the Melbourne Cup as well. He was making very good ground towards the final stages, but that was over 3,200. This is over 2,500, so dropping back in distance. I've got to say one thing about the horse. He is racing well, and he will be running on towards the final stages. I
know Lee Friedman said that he was kicking and pig rooting when he went out yesterday, which is probably a good indicator that he's feeling quite well within himself. Number 5, the grey mare Pindy, Larry Cassidy, the rider. 5th in the Moonee Valley Cup was a plodding effort. She's a one-pacer.
Well, actually, I thought she had a fairly checkered run in the Moonee Moonee Valley Cup. Wasn't a bad effort. She was also held up in the straight. She won this time last year, this mare, and when she's right, she goes very, very well. Drawn nicely in barrier 5. I gave her an each-way chance.
Yeah, she won the Crown Quality on protest, of course, over the Carnival last year. Number 7 is Section, Marie Payne. This horse racing pretty well without luck and was beaten an absolute eyelash in the Geelong Cup 2 runs ago.
Fantastic run in the Geelong Cup. He really flew home. He just didn't get there in time. I would have to give this horse an each-way chance. Just the way he's been racing, you know that he's going to be getting home towards the end.
I saw Baloko at Gay Stables yesterday, number 9. This grey horse trained by Gay Waterhouse, ridden by Shane Dye. Might improve a bit today. 4th in the Werribee Cup was okay. He's a nervous wreck before the race. Well, I saw him the other day. This is number 9, Baloko, we're talking about. And, yeah, he was standing in the stall at Werribee, Jen. He had the shakes.
Well, yeah, this
like
was...
you did on Friday.
I did not. This horse was midfield at Werribee, Pete, and had a good run, and I thought it probably had every chance. I just think it's going to be a little bit harder for him here.
There is Cessna, number 10, and he is to be ridden by Alf Matthews, 4th in the Moonee Valley Cup.
Yes, well, had her first go over the 2,500 last start and fought on quite strongly. Nicely in here with 49 kilos and not the roughest by any means.
And the horse that you thought was the good each-way value in the race, number 11, El Kahira's Son, to be ridden by Andrew Findlay.
Well, on that Derby form, it's very hard to knock El Kahira's Son. He is a 3-year-old. He's carrying 49 kilos here, so that's in his favour for sure. I really thought with a bit of luck in the Derby, he could have possibly finished in the placings. I don't think he could have beat Nothing Like a Dane, but by the same token, it was a good run and he is racing well.
So El Kahira's Son for you, number 11?
From number 5, Pindi, and number 1, Dark Czar.
And I thought Dark Czar at good each-way odds here in race 6. Here's the tote call. See what the punters have made of it with Dan.
$8.60, Pete, about Dark Czar. $15.80 for Our Pompeii. $3.90 Quick Ransom. It's almost half his odds in the ring. Hear That Bell, $16.20. Pindi, $6. Scalero, $18.30. Section at $19.90. Then to Toll Bell at $23.40. Baloko, $8.30. Cessna, $8.80. El Kahira's Son at $8.60. And Our King's Ransom, $109. So it is clearly the rank outsider of the field. That's the tote scene. I'm tipping the betting ring will be a little bit different to that, Tim Gossage.
Very much so, Dan Malecki. It's the biggest plunge of the day, and it has been on the Gay Waterhouse trained Baloko. It's halved its quote. It certainly was double figures about 10 minutes ago. It's now halved its quote, even less on most bookmakers' board. They will be reeling if this horse is to get up. It was the last start, unplaced in the Werribee Cup. There has been a lot of tipping for improvement for Baloko. Everything else has drifted. Has been some money for Quick Ransom backing up after the Melbourne Cup, and a big drifter is El Kahira's Son, the 3-year-old, Pete.
Yeah, change of rider here for Baloko, number 9. Shane Dye, the rider today. Of course, Glenn Boss has been riding this horse, so that's the one they've come for, the Gay Waterhouse trained Baloko. They're going to the stalls now for race 6, the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. We'll be back to Flemington after this break. Colours of the carnival, the VRC colours and the tan colours, and the girls there and the big crowd here at Flemington watching these horses fill the stalls for the Queen Elizabeth Stakes race 6. A big try here for Baloko, number 9, trained by Gay Waterhouse, that lady there who won the Victoria Derby last week with Nothing Like a Dane, and second in the Melbourne Cup with the same horse last Tuesday. Here's Dan Malecki and Gary Willits to look them over before race 6.
Okay, most of them ready here, Gary Willits.
Yes, and Baloko, by gee, the money's come for that today, Dan.
Yeah, I
thought Quick Ransom had come through his cup run very well.
Still favourite on the tote, Quick Ransom. Toll Bell joins them. They're set to go. Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Racing now, El Kahira's Son, one of the best out with a grade Pindi, and Our King's Ransom pushing through on the inside. Baloko 4th early, and Toll Bell looking for the lead as he often does. Our Pompeii will race forward, and then came Dark Czar, Quick Ransom Section. Hear That Bell, Scalero and Cessna settling down last of all. Toll Bell from the outside barrier, and at the 2,200 metre point was able to cross over and lead from Pindi. Getting to 3rd was Our King's Ransom. 3/4 of a length away was El Kahira's Son, the 3-year-old racing 4th. Baloko beautifully positioned 5th on the rail. Our Pompeii Pompey was 6th. Quick Ransom going around them 3 wide. Scalero on the inside of Dark Czar, and then came Here That Bell. Section second last and 2 lengths away to the 6-year-old mare Cessna. Going towards the 1700 and Toll Bell, the leader by 3 lengths. Pindy is second. Third, Our King's Ransom. Now Quick Ransom goes around the outside to 4th, and then came El Kahira's Son. 1.5 to Our Pompey. Then Baloco, Scalero, Dark Czar, a length to Hear That Bell section as they slacken off the speed, and Cessna last of all, about 10 lengths off the leader Toll Bell. At the 1600 metre point, Toll Bell the leader for Peter Hutchinson by 1.5 lengths. Pindy is up on the outside racing second. It's the grey. King's Ransom third. Quick Ransom is 4th. Then El Kahira's Son 5th and 1/2 length to Our Pompey. 1.5 to Baloco and Dark Czar. Then Scalero inside section, a length to Hear That Bell, and Cessna last of all, still only 10 lengths off the leader Toll Bell. Going towards the 1200 metres mark, Toll Bell in his favourite role. He leads by 1 length to Pindy. Our Quick Ransom, or Our King's Ransom third. Quick Ransom around at 4th. 2 lengths away El Kahira's Son, and then Our Pompey. 1.5 lengths to Baloco, and hits outside Dark Czar from Scalero's section. Hear That Bell. Cessna still last at the 900 metre point. Toll Bell